then she also freaked out that she couldn't do it. And what does everyone else do? They all stand up and offer. Yeah. Because that's friendship. That's Samir's like, I can figure it out. I'm with it. I can figure it out.
You're not gay, so you're like, I can see it.
Love it.
I'll figure it out.
Love them down. Hi, it's Megan.
And it's Bree.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
UNSERIESOUS. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious.
I'm serious about the paella. This is the season of us.
Yeah, wait, that's what I wanted to say. I was going to say, this is the season of us. That's the funniest thing to say to a stranger.
In a text, this is the season of us. I want to start saying this. Honestly, the show's giving me so many things that I want to implement into my vocabulary. This is the season of us.
Just anytime.
And it is!
It's the season
episode
of us.
98 of UNSERIESOUS. We're talking about adults.
Boom.
Boom. We did it. We did it
in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Maybe it came out a month ago, but we just did it.
But we did it.
We done did the Diamondback.
We go in and we do it. We done did it.
We done did it.
Yeah.
We want to make a Venn diagram and compare it to overcompensating, but we need to do that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned this July. Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Do a theater near you.
Yeah.
We're back. We're talking adults, but first, I gotta catch up with Bree.
Beep beep.
So does the car outside.
And so does the car.
Bree, watch anything new? Listen to anything new? Exciting? Hear anything news related? I don't know. What's up?
News related? I don't know. What's up?
What's up?
I did watch a movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Like something new?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Something. Definitely something.
Definitely something.
It was something called Trap.
I watched it too.
Oh, did you? Were you there?
I was there.
That's insane.
Enjoying the crispy chicken menu at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah, we did get Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
And we had no other choice but to turn on the critical.
Wait, we were like, oh, let's watch a rom-com.
And somehow we ended up watching Trap.
And then
so
we
funny.
watched Trap.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's important to the story.
That's very important.
Julie was like, for some reason I'm feeling anything. Even maybe a rom-com.
And we were like, we were gagged.
And like, there's so many opportunities.
A rom-com.
And the only thing that could truly unite us in that moment was Trap.
Trap. That was the only thing that could really bring us all together as a family.
It do happen that way.
Yeah.
You can't really plan. You can't really construct stuff like that.
Yeah.
And boy, was it a film.
Boy, was that a film. That was definitely a film. Yeah. I don't even know my experience. It was...
I feel like I had an enjoyable experience, but it was just because, like, of us watching it
because it was, like, silly. Like,
yeah, we were having
I was watching that alone.
We were having... Oh, yeah. It is definitely, like, you have to view that with your friends type of way.
Listen, it was an interesting movie, but would I see a sequel?
Hell
yes. Because I think it'd just get even more insane.
Unhinged.
Like, huh?
The way that it ended, like, 3 times. Like, it should have ended 2 times ago.
No, literally.
So funny. And even when it was ending, it wasn't ending.
It was like that scene on the studio where they're watching that movie
oh,
and it keeps
yeah,
going.
No, truly.
And we're like,
that's
like,
so true.
It kept going. I'm like, what is he doing?
So funny. It was, like... so funny in a way where it just like
kind of camp.
I don't think it meant to be what it was, but what it was for us was a hilarious experience.
Yeah, and I guess it was a pretty memed movie.
Yeah, and like I think I just got it confused with Smile because I thought I didn't know he was like a serial killer.
I thought he was the one being trapped.
Yeah, I thought he was
like the
he might
hero.
Have been like. And, like, maybe he was, what I in my head envisioned was, like, he did something crazy, but he was manipulated to do it.
Oh.
Which I think is maybe what happens in Smile. Like, he went to the concert and got, like, something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. I didn't know he was...
But he already had somebody trapped.
Yes, and they were trying to trap him.
And they were trapping him.
And then he trapped Lady Raven.
The butcher!
Do you know the
Your husband's the butcher!
It was crazy, but also can we talk about, like, the way in which they meet her, Lady Raven, and get to go backstage and get to experience, like, her PR person.
Wait, yeah, why don't we do
I was like,
that?
this is a little too, like, what I want to happen. Like, maybe I don't want my dad to be a murderer, but, like...
Yeah, maybe I don't want...
They were being treated with the utmost respect. Like, I was imagining this, but with Taylor Swift and Tree Payne instead of Lady Raven and her
They got a whole ass experience, because they got to go on stage and go backstage.
Yeah, I was like, why doesn't this happen to me, except for the trap part? Oh my god. What a experience.
What an experience that was.
That's the first M. Night Shyamalan movie I've seen, which maybe wasn't what he intended.
He maybe did and it didn't.
He produced the Caddo Lake movie with Dylan O'Brien I'd still watch, but...
I think I've only seen Split. And that one was pretty good, but kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And that was...
And Old looked creepy as hell. Yeah. And I like Gael Garcia is in that.
I feel like that was definitely...
Maybe it'll be an M. Night Shyamalan summer for us.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We do a pot on
that
all
being his
movies.
daughter?
I was shook. Well, because I was like, oh, he's in it. Maybe that's just what he does, is he's a director. But then I was seeing him. And I was seeing her. And then I realized the actress's name. And I went, wait. And he called her his niece in the movie. So I was like, maybe they're related to some degree. And it's his daughter.
Yeah. I guess we have to watch all the movies. And then we have to do a... he did the Sixth Sense.
Oh, really?
Okay. I started with that one.
Yeah, which is
that's
probably
a classic.
What you should do.
It's
so funny.
Jeez.
No, sometimes like the first thing's the best. So if you start with the best, then you're just gonna...
Yeah, you gotta start with Trap. Actually, start with Trap 2 when it comes out. Thank you.
So dead. So funny. We were cracking ourselves up. I can't remember the shit we were saying, but we were having a ball.
I was gagged. I was truly gagged.
And like it was very like suspenseful when you're in this concert venue and you're like, oh, everyone is trying to find him. Although the cops were being fucking idiots.
No, that was the main problem. Like there were so many things that were like very unrealistic to me.
Yeah.
Like, well, the cops being idiots.
Yeah.
But I guess that's realistic.
Yeah.
But then him him being the limo driver, and then him somehow getting out of the limo, and nobody being like, this man is creepy as fuck.
Oh my god. They were like looking for
he
exactly
got away
his
so
description.
easily.
What I do like, not to give the full movie away, but like he's interacting with this worker there.
Yeah, and you're
that's
funny.
Half the time when stuff like that happens, you're like, I would kill to know what that guy thinks when he finds out who
Yeah, you literally said that before it happened.
And then they showed it. And I was like, every movie needs to do that, because sometimes I'm like, oh, it'll be so crazy to see what this person thinks when they find out this, and then they half the time don't show that stuff.
He said, I'm never talking to anybody at work.
So true. That is the moral of the story. Don't be nice to strangers. I had a great time.
I had a great...
Was it my favorite movie? No, but I had a fun time.
But I had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it did go on too long. I think it really...
The real
it
trap
just kept going. Because
So
at first I was like... Okay, I got to a point in the movie where I was like, oh, I'm excited to see what happens at the end. Like, I was excited. And then it just like...
Yeah.
Like, it like... Went.
Yeah.
And then it went.
Like,
and I was like, okay.
I was like, he's kind of an idiot, but also sort of smart. Kind of a genius.
Kind of a genius.
Like, why are we propping this guy up? And he was like, I need to be shirtless for this big
And he's like, I just need to be shirtless right now. I hope y'all don't mind.
I really like Josh Hartnett. It's just so funny. I was like, what is going on?
Like, what's the point of him being shirtless right now? Because he's the butcher.
Because he's the butcher.
I think his name being the butcher also makes me laugh. That's such an unserious name.
It is. It's also
the butcher.
What's his name? Carl Urban's character's name in The Boys.
The Butcher.
Well, it's Billy Butcher.
Okay, that's better.
But they call him Butcher, like his last name.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I hear Butcher, I'm thinking Jack Quaid going Butcher.
Butcher.
That was my impression of Jack Quaid.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Butcher.
I've never heard him do that, but
turn it on.
That was
I should finish The Boys before Gen B comes back.
Oh, I should watch The Boys.
You should. Just press play.
Just press play.
There's something like...
Do it with me.
I'm thinking about the summer. I watched that and Marvelous Mrs. Maisel back-to-back, like, hits in my head. I'm like, that was a great double feature.
Yeah.
I was having fun, and, like, I was unemployed.
That's
right after
the
college.
dream.
It was, and I was stressed as hell, but that was bringing me comfort.
But you just had... Yeah. We have a bunch of time.
Mm-hmm. Two more things. Did you see Match Game's coming back?
Match Game?
Yeah, you know the game show?
Oh.
Alec Baldwin. Well, it was like in the 70s or something when it actually came out, but the more recent iteration was hosted by Alec Baldwin, and I loved it. Like, me and my mom and sister were actually obsessed with watching it because, like, I don't know, the dynamic. Like, everyone's drinking alcohol. It's all celebrities. And then like 2 like real people contestants, but they're trying to match their answers with the celebos. Yeah. And there's like so many like inside jokes me, my mom, my sister have from that show. And then I was like, oh, never come back because of Alex Baldwin's controversies. But they're bringing it back, and guess who's hosting? A friend of the show. It's Julia.
Julia?
Someone on a show that we have covered on the pod more than once. Older. And that's all the clues I'll give.
Older. Mm-hmm. Old. But I think he's old.
Yeah. You for sure. You think people are 37.
I think people are 21 year older than me are old as hell.
The guy Materialist that was like 29. Ugh.
I'm like, that's old. Oh yeah, like that's
29.
He's like, that's me. Okay. If it's a show that we've done twice, it has to be like One Tree Hill.
No.
It has to be like,
it's a show that's still on.
It has to be what show did we do twice that's still on? I know this is a trick question. We just talked about this, didn't we? No, I don't know.
It's old people are on it.
Old people.
Famously, there are 2 old people and 1 young person.
Oh, I know who it is. Steve Martin. Oh, the other one, Martin Short.
I was like,
the other one, like, I want to guess it right, and I said the wrong one.
You had a 50-50
shot. It's Martin Short?
Yeah. And Selena's gonna be a panelist in one of the episodes, which is exciting because she's never been on it. And I was telling Julia, because the episode Selena's on, Joel McHale's on, Cara Delevingne is on, actually. Anthony Anderson is on it a lot. And he's actually one of my favorite contestants. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
I think at the end of July.
And it's with an icon.
Yes.
So that's good.
I think it'll be, and he's funny. Like, that was the thing. Like, I feel like I wasn't like, I would say like Alec Baldwin was my favorite sense of humor, but like he had a good rapport with the guests, and a lot of them would be from 30 Rock, so I liked that. Like Jack McBrayer was one of my favorite people that would be on it a lot, and like what's her name, Jane Kukowski. So I was like, damn, this was like a fun show. And so one thing about me, actually, I love game shows.
There's one little thing. I will be on the Game Show Network.
My mom is on the Game Show Network all the time when I'm home. I'm like, we got to cut this out because it's the same shit over and over. I'm like, I want like new shit. Like I like the ABC shows. So like, fun fact about me, I will be seated for Match Game, and you guys are gonna have to deal with that.
What day?
Wednesdays.
Hell yeah.
And if there's a summer movie, we don't have to watch it on Wednesday.
We have to.
If we have nothing else going on, we might as well throw it on.
Yeah.
See what celebrities are on it at least.
Celebos.
So funny. It's just funny because like literally they're just like they're drunk, they're playing a game, and like a good funny people. Now Martin, like I feel much more happy that Martin Short. I can be proud of watching the host.
Yeah. That's so funny. 2 old people.
I was like, I'm just gonna give it away.
Oh yeah, I would definitely think he's old.
70.
That's pretty old.
I love him. Maybe Meryl will show up.
Meryl will show up.
I'm excited.
Meryl will be on anything now.
I hope.
With Martin Short.
And lastly, did you hear they're adding a category to the Golden Globes?
Wait, podcast.
Yes!
Yes! Brooke and Connor talked about this.
Oh, that would be a good submission. People are like, someone was like, Amy Poehler released a podcast, and they're like, we have to give this an award.
Yes.
So that'll be fun to see what they do.
I know who's gonna be. I'm gonna be nominated.
I want to be nominated
for your consideration.
Maybe if Amy Poehler sees it. Yeah, FYC, we start campaigning.
Yes, we're not doing it for Ginny and Georgia Emmys. We're doing it for us for the Golden Globe.
Yes, maybe. I feel like Amy will definitely get nominated. I don't know. Call her Daddy probably. And then, Armchair Expert maybe. And
then Amy Poehler will see ours once.
And she'll pass it down.
She'll pass down the torch.
Yes. I've seen the vision so clearly.
What are other popular
podcasts?
I want Miles to win.
I would love. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, what are the most famous ones? Because like, there are so many more podcasts than there are TV shows. Because anyone can do it. So it's like, who could possibly get nominated? Because I feel like there's the echelon of stuff we watch, which is like Perfect Person, Brooke and Connor, Try Guys. I would even say, like, I don't even watch them, but I love their clips, like Basement Yard Guys, Brittany Broski, Caleb Heron stuff. It's like, those would be nominated if they had an award for that at the Teen Choice Awards. Or People's Choice Awards.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Golden Globes, it's going to have to be like, either like a crime podcast, or it's going to be something like Amy's, something like Dax Shepard's. I don't know. Call Her Daddy, I would probably see that one. That's probably the most famous one.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Know. Yeah.
And maybe it'll say UNSERIESOUS.
Maybe. It's also hard because, like, you think about the Golden Globes, they have TV shows and movies, and they do, like, comedy and drama separately. Podcasts, there's so many genres.
Yeah.
Because there's fiction ones, too, and then there's the crime ones.
Yeah, there's whole,
historical ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People make some cool podcasts that I haven't listened to, but they use a lot of, like, the fictional ones, like the... Mm-hmm. So how are we ever going to win?
I know. Yeah, we gotta start campaigning now. One day. A podcast about TV for the Golden Globes would make sense.
What beat would make so much sense? They don't understand how much that makes sense.
I know. One day. We can only go up from here.
So true. So real and raw right there. Yeah.
But that is all the tea I have this week.
Do I have any tea?
Any more tea before we get into it? No. 98 episodes.
98. Oh, we're getting close.
The countdown to 100.
And then it ends.
And then we close shop. And it blows up. No. The podcast will self-destruct.
No.
Should I tell you about Adults?
Yeah.
I wrote probably the shortest summary ever just because it is a short show. And we got to save something to talk about.
We got to talk.
But Adults is a comedy series on FX following 20-something friends and roommates Samir, Billy, Issa, Anton, and Paul Baker as they navigate work, relationships, and adulting. In the 8-episode debut season, we see this little friendship deal with losing their jobs, finding jobs, dating a former teacher, competing with Julia Fox, a green card marriage, and a stabber.
A stabber.
No matter what these 5 friends go through, they have each other to lean on along the way.
Found family.
Found family.
We found a family.
Found a family. This is where I really gotta stand on my pedestal and say TV shows are getting shorter and we have to wait even longer for them. And this is a show that I know deserves a full 20-ish episodes.
Like, this would be so easy to do a full 20 episodes.
So easy. Like, I would even just implore them to think 12 to 15 at the bare minimum. 8?
8 is great. 8 20-minute episodes is crazy.
It's crazy because this is basically like our generation's Friends.
Yeah.
It's like closest I've ever seen, not to make it 100% direct comparison. But
it's a modern day Friends.
I would say this is the closest we've got, and doing it's like a good show. Like, it's definitely different, and like you can't really apples to apples it. But like, I enjoyed it enough to be
different
like,
tone.
I could lock in for this.
Yeah.
Versus there's other shows that like kind of maybe can be similar, but like either don't last or just aren't the vibe. And it just sucks. 8 episodes. They all came out at once, I think.
Ugh.
That's
everyone was done talking about it like so fast. Like, everyone was just like,
yeah. That's really what I just want to get out there and get the message out, is that shows like this should not be this short. But I will say, we gave this critique to, generally we give this critique, but the Sex Lives of College Girls critique, their pacing on Adults is much better.
No, the pacing, but they were able to, like, the chemistry between all of them, all 5 of them,
right off the bat,
was so good and so well built for like 20-minute. 8 20-minute episodes. Like, I'm literally like, oh my god, they're best friends.
And then, like, with Sex Lives of College Girls, what's holding them back is the fact that they're in college, so like the time it's trying to cover in the short amount of time they're given is harder. But I feel like a lot of time passed on this show, but it didn't feel like you were missing anything from the storyline, but also things were progressing like well.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good in the comedy.
Like, they still mention stuff from
yeah. So I think it's doing a good job with what it has. Like, I don't think it's affected by this fact that it's shorter, but it should be longer. It just should be.
It should be. It's
TV
so sad.
Needs to be fucking long. Like, it kills me. And the show only has one season, so I can't say, and it takes forever for it to come out. If it comes out, like, on a consistent, maybe summer basis or something, June, every year.
Out every January.
For the rest of our lives, then I'll give it, like, The Pit doing 15 weeks on a yearly basis, that's decent.
That's good.
Yeah, that's only 7-ish episodes short of, like, a full season.
Yeah.
The show, my guys, deserve more. Because what it does with creating inside jokes and, like, returning characters and bits and stuff like that, only in 8 episodes, think of the power it could have with 20.
Yeah. And it's a show that can do, like, the little silly episode, like, about one thing. Like, they were literally talking about the mouse with that AirTag, the Apple AirTag, like, they can do so much with it. Like,
yeah.
Like,
yes. That's what sitcoms should be, is, like, they don't need to fully do crazy, like
it doesn't have to be the biggest, like,
forward stuff.
Yeah.
And they did drive the plot a bit.
Yeah, they did.
Within their 8 episodes. But that's the point. Like, when I think of, like, shows that stand the test of time. Because, like, I was thinking about this with watching, like, a show like Ginny and Georgia or a sitcom. Like, they're all different. But, like, to me, the shows that last are the shows you can come back to and have repeatability.
Yeah.
And, like, I think about that with, like, sitcoms. It's always like, I want to watch the episode where they do this. Like, Friends, literally, that was their brand. They called the episodes the one with blank. Yeah, because that's how people, like, remember shows. And they're like, I want to go back to, like, those episodes that are really great. And even shows that are dramas kind of can do that. Like, Gilmore Girls, I like going, I want to watch the episode with the deep fried Korean Thanksgiving. Like, they have comfort episodes that you can return to. Some other shows, like, are so plot heavy, like a Ginny and Georgia. I don't know if I were to be like,
there's one specific episode.
Yeah, like, I'm in the mood to watch an episode of Ginny and Georgia. Like, certain shows don't have
too much going on.
Like, shows that are long, exactly, because it's all packed with plot.
Yeah.
Shows that are longer give you the breathing room to do things that are a little lighthearted, like a Gilmore Girls, or in a One Tree Hill that does have a lot of drama, but you can go, I would love to watch the Cabin episode.
Yeah.
Or I would love to watch the Honey Grove Prom episode, because they didn't need every episode to be so completely plot driven.
They had room.
And, like, sitcoms are different because every show should be light and they all should feel like those kind of episodes. But it's also like, and this show's so new that I can't make that point regardless, but, like, think of all the potential.
Think of all the silly episodes we could get.
We've already gotten 8 of them. If we had a batch of 20 every year, come on. Even at least 12. Like, 8 kills me.
And it would stick with people longer to have 20. Like, 8 like, that's just not.
No. I think, didn't Dakota Johnson or someone just say this? Or it's like the people. I think she said this about movies. But I think of this about everyone. The people making shit don't watch the shit. Yeah, like, they don't understand what people want.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's because we're in a streaming era and, like, people can get content on their phone era. But, like...
And attention span era.
Yeah. But Abbott Elementary is doing it.
Yeah.
And there's some other shows, like, we haven't watched St. Dennis yet, but I feel like they're doing it. Other shows could do it. And, like, it could be on a streaming service like this. They could do this weekly.
And this being about 20-something-year-olds.
Like,
that's all I want.
I always say that, too. Like, there's no shows about people our age. Like, the post-college, what the hell are you doing with your life age? And I'm blessed that this show exists because fucking finally.
Yeah, fucking finally.
And
we got 2-for-1 special.
Yeah. Let's go. Like, I was excited about this, and I will say it didn't disappoint. What I will say, first episode did kind of stress me out.
Yeah, it was a lot. The first scene.
Well, the first scene was crazy, and it was like, okay, they're really setting up that this is like a very close connected group. Like the way they were all sitting on the train, I was like,
that's nice.
And then instantly, public registration.
Yeah.
And like the part with the guy was like, okay, that's realistic.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately the city life.
Yeah. But then turning back was kind of crazy.
And then the whole episode being about a guy they knew that had experienced harassment at work.
Yeah.
And then my guy Samir finding out that he probably technically assaulted someone.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about
I'm like, wait, are we just going to let that?
Because I think there is a balance, like our generation especially, our humor and the way we deal with things can be very dark
unserious and dark.
Which I think there's so much merit to that, and there were certain jokes that they were making where I was like, no, that's so true, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But some of it I was like, guys.
I was like, damn. Also, I'm like, we're really crossing the... I'm like, this is like a bold...
Yes.
Like...
Especially for a pilot.
Yeah.
Because that's how I was like, not to keep comparing it to Friends, But I think about the way that the Friends pilot, like, set up everything so well. It's like you have this established friend group, and here comes Rachel. And I was like, oh, Paul Baker's the new one in the group.
Yeah.
But that's, like, it's not really necessarily about this dynamic. It's about this dynamic dealing with a bunch of sexual assault storylines. It's like,
like, the whole episode keeps mentioning, like...
Yeah.
And then them at the party, like... fundraiser thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what did they even say? I don't know. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
About the sexual assault.
Yeah. And then the blonde, like, she ended up being, like, a little antagonistic-ish. The girl that was kind of like, everyone takes this too seriously these days. And, like, I think
that's,
her
like,
point
poking.
Like, they weren't saying that's the point, but, like, that girl, I was like, girl.
Yeah.
So I did feel, like, a little, like, queasy.
Hello, queasy.
Watching that stuff. But I will say, like, by episode 2 or 3, I was like, no, this shit, like, they... got it. They locked in by episode, like, 3, I would say. And I was like, no, they're hitting the nail on the head with, like, the humor.
Yeah.
And the silly,
it's definitely, like, it's... I can see why not everyone likes it, though, because it's very, it's, like, it's Gen Z humor. And it's... I don't know. And, like, I think that's what bums me out about, like, that being the introduction to it, because that is the introduction to it, and then people are going to make a decision based on that first episode. Because if I had stopped, like, I feel like I was like, oh, I'm not finding all of it funny. Yeah.
I thought it was funny when they were making the joke about, like, the cards, him having the victim card. They're literally pulling cards. They're, like, pulling the woman card, pulling the child of an immigrant card. Like, I thought that was funny. I thought the bit they were making about the guy, like,
him marking himself safe
from natural disasters, because I was like, that's such a very specific thing that occurs on social media.
Like, oh, he's one of those people who mark himself safe from a tsunami that he's not even close to.
Because it's so funny. Like, nothing I've ever thought about that deeply, but it's like
people do that. Yeah.
So funny. But, like, some of the other stuff, I was like, guys, you're making me anxious.
And at first I thought Samir wasn't going to be, like...
No, I thought the concept of a guy over worrying about that is funny, but then to find out he actually, like, did...
No, that's
how I was intending to take advantage of someone.
He was over worrying about it. I was like, oh, then probably no way he did it. And then he did.
I was like, why? Ah! But then, like, that's what kills me is, like, if that wasn't the first episode, or even, like, they didn't even go that far, the rest of the show is genuinely so funny and well done and thoughtful. Yeah. To, like, the degree it wants to be. Yeah. Because, like, I think episode 3, is that the tag episode? No, it's the stabber episode.
The stabber episode.
Where they're pulling up the phone.
That one's so funny.
Like, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish, like, it's, like, maybe it doesn't work as a first episode, but I wish that was people's introduction to it, because I'm like, that is such a great, like, the friend dynamics, they're already, like, establishing
like,
who these characters are.
Like, them looking at them having the text on the screen and being, like,
reacting.
And going, ah, when he's calling.
It is so funny. I was like, no, this is what I'm looking for in an ensemble comedy about people our age.
And he has, like, so many unread messages, like, him being the person to just have, like, talk to everybody. I thought it was so funny.
Like I said, I'm serious about paella. This is the season of us.
That's so funny.
You're a friend slut. He's calling you. It was also, I thought that episode was so funny. That's also the episode where Samir and Paul Baker are dealing with the gun.
I love hilarious. Paul Baker and Samir's friendship.
Yes, like they're in that episode. They were talking about like conservatism, like the breadth of this guy's vocabulary, and you're like, do we hate this guy or do we not hate this guy at the gun store? Yeah, because that was a way to talk about political stuff without it being like a little fucked up. Yeah. Like I thought that dynamic or that interaction between Paul Baker and that guy was so funny.
Good. He just didn't know what to say. He didn't know what side to be on.
And then Samir's like, in fact, he's homophobic. No.
Wait, that's not the direction.
And it's so funny because they were just like, we don't want this gun. Like, we don't want to own a gun.
Yeah. And then they have to carry a gun around New York.
But then,
and the woman.
But then, like, them finding out the stabber was over. And Anton, trying to mime it to Billy and Issa, but then texting them and be like, bring back the gun. but an autocorrect.
Bring the gum. He's like, I got the gum.
And they do. Oh, I love subtle humor like this. Like, as the episode's ending, you just, like, hear them go, oh, I got your gum.
Yes.
I'm like, that's an episode. That's where I was like.
Was so funny.
And now we're cooking with peanut oil.
And that was a well-rounded, like, full episode. Yeah. Surrounding, like, just their little, like, one.
Slice of life.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like. something so specific that he would be able to do 22 episodes of that.
Yes, just silly shit, like, from episode to episode, and, like, certain things carry over, but a lot of it, like, it's just, like, fun shit. Like, this show nails that comedy stuff. They nail the ensemble where they all hang out with each other and have relationships with each other and love each other. Like, the friend group is so sweet.
The ending of episode, it's like when you learn a lesson and then it's like they're all just like, it's like warm and fuzzy at the end.
Yeah, but also like silly and unserious.
Yeah, like they're all.
Oh, I love it. Like, it has a perfect amount of like
feel good.
There's heart and found family, but it's also so deeply unserious.
Yeah.
So it's 24-year-old something-year-olds, like, that's life, baby.
It's so fast paced, like the humor.
Yeah,
it's just like,
but like it like works.
Yeah.
And also, like, every once in a while, maybe there's something where it's like, okay, that didn't really hit, but, like, I feel like they do a good job with, like, in my opinion, humor is subjective, where it's not,
I feel like
it
cliche
and cringy.
Yeah.
Like, it, like, they do a good job, because it's people, it's Gen Z people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it works. Like, it, like, doesn't feel like it's forced.
Yeah.
It's just, like, these are how people act.
Like, aww.
What I will say also, though, is I'm still confused about the living situation. Because they're
that's
at Samir's family's house, and I'm like, how long have they been gone? How long have they been able to live here?
I'm like, how does that happen to me?
Yeah.
Like, they're living for free in his parents' house, and did they just leave forever?
Yeah, in Queens. Like, damn.
Like, damn.
Yeah, that's funny, though.
Yeah.
I thought they all shared, like, a shitty apartment. No, I find out they live in his parents' house.
That's what
his
I
photos
thought.
on the wall.
Yeah.
That was a funny thing in the first episode where they were like, I memorized the photo thing that plays, and they're like, it's Samir in that fuck-ass hat.
The fit.
Which hat? Sailor.
The fit. That was so cute.
That was a perfect bookend to that episode of them all trying to fix the heater.
Yes.
In his little hats.
Yes. And they're on cocaine.
Yes. So that was good. I feel like we didn't need all of the lighthearted sexual assault stuff.
Yeah, I didn't need that.
That was my one con.
Like a billion jokes about sexual assault.
Yeah.
Like, why are we laughing?
Yeah. I will say when she was like, is everyone having a good time? Well, he wasn't.
Yeah, that was good.
I feel like there's a way to not make light of that shit, but like joke around it without it being the joke.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I would
agree.
I was worried the first episode too. I was like, oh, this is what this is. Like,
yeah. And then the rest of it
and
wasn't.
I got like a little scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a lot. They're crazy. But
crazy.
But yeah, every other episode really hit for me.
Yeah. The first episode, the paywall bit. I keep hitting a paywall.
I keep hitting a paywall.
Freaking
Paul Baker.
Yeah, that was funny. Episode 2 was the hospital episode. I also thought that was very funny.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
When they're all in the bathroom together, that's just like instantly showcasing like how close.
I'm like, I'm not that close to
No, I could never do that. Yeah,
I don't think I'm that close.
But for them, like, I enjoy that, like, they're establishing that is the closest.
Yeah, that's how close they are. They're
that's
like,
what I'm looking for in a TV show.
They're on top of each other.
Literally. And then I liked Issa a lot in that episode with just like trying to prove herself as like someone that you can take
someone
seriously.
Who can be serious. That's so real.
But like her telling the receptionist, she's like, oh my god, you're gonna die, and it's literally just talking about how they met.
Oh my god, you're gonna die.
So simple.
Just yapping.
It's so funny.
They're like, okay.
And she's like, don't worry, I took a whole week off work for this. And they were there
like,
for
what?
1 day. I bolded my favorite line. One of my favorite lines from the whole show was in this episode, which is Anton has Billy's phone, and they're waiting to see, because in the previous episode she like was really rude to her boss and potentially was losing her job. So they're like keeping an eye on her phone while she's having a medical emergency because she's bleeding out of her butt. Turns out she was just stressed, which is relatable. He has her phone, and they're like, did she get an email from work? And he's like, it's just Dunkin' Rewards, which is that's so
true.
It's just Dunkin' Rewards and Sims 4 receipts. Did you know she paid for the career pack? That's so sad.
That's you.
Fucking funny, like the Sims humor, and it's just one little line, but I was like, that's so, like, the understanding of it. Oh my god,
Dunkin' Rewards,
funny. And then just Paul Baker and Anton having free reign of that hospital. Even the hospital workers were in on their little shit. So
they were letting them do whatever.
And they were bonding, and I'm just starting something new. He's like, I think Paul Baker should live with us, and he's just like, I literally said that. I've been saying that.
He was fully on board. Them calling him Paul Baker.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, I don't remember if it was in the next episode, but I think they showed like their group chat was the proxies or something. After
that was cute.
And I don't know if they're building Because they totally could. Like, there's nothing in the season that has it going either way. But you, in a hypothetical way, you could totally see Samir and Billy potentially having a romantic dynamic at some point.
That's what I see.
Because he was so protective, like, of being her proxy. And
yeah.
like, I want to be the guy for her. But they, and what I like is they could not do it, and that would totally be fine. But if they did set them up for that, they're doing it in a way where it isn't in your face yet.
Yeah,
it's like
I like
things.
it. It's little,
And
but I
like
see it.
I could see it for sure.
And it could be a really good burn build.
100%. 100%.
I'm like, yeah.
And they did that with the other relationships in the show too. Like, they have a handle on, like, I like a slow burn, and there's merit to, like, people pointing things out or, like, hinting at it early on with subtle stuff. But sometimes they do it over the top where it's like, okay, now everyone knows, and it's like, no, I like when it's like a little bit of a surprise. It's a little bit of, like, not much is happening yet. When it's all in your face too much, it's kind of like, well, that takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. Because they definitely, like, they're really good friends.
Mm-hmm. And childhood friends.
Yeah. They also just have these little moments that I'm like, wait.
Yeah. It's like they're setting building blocks that they could do romantic, or it could totally
or they
stay
could just
platonic.
stay platonic. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they'll do.
But I like the one girl he was with.
Carly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, but
that's why it kills me, because that was the girl that he...
Yeah, it goes back to her. So I'm like confused on...
why they even had to make that a thing.
Yeah, they shouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah.
It
was enough of a bit for him to have been overly concerned with that.
Yeah.
Then have that happen.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's all I really
and then bring her fully back.
Yeah.
And they're like, so, like, they're sweet together.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why did that have to happen then?
It literally is just, like, so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't really add anything to it, the plot. Like, it never came back into the plot with them later. Like, it clearly didn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed it.
They should have left it out, because now I think Samir's a little bit of a freak.
No, literally, Samir has had to prove himself 12 times for me.
Yeah, because that's the one reason where I'm like, that's, like, maybe... where I can't, like, don't want him with Billy, because I love Billy, like, so much.
Yeah.
And then he, like, kind of weirds me out a little, but then he has all these moments that I'm like, oh, like him and Paul Baker.
No, seriously. I feel like in the first couple episodes he was pissing me off, because I think episode 3...
Like, okay, this guy.
Is when does he do the... When does he moon the people?
Yeah, that was, like, a little later. I'm like, wait, I was, like, finally, like, okay, this guy is there. And then he mooned them. I'm like, technically, you aren't supposed to do that either.
It's like, my guy, stay with me.
Like, literally stay with me. Like, if you can't keep your clothes on in front of people, then...
Guy.
I'm like, I'm trying to root for you.
And, like, that moment would be sillier if the other thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't have been as deep.
Yeah, that one, I wouldn't have pondered. But, like, you keep doing these weird things.
I do when there are two
without people's consent.
Yeah. I physically couldn't watch that part because it's just secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's going so well. And he was like, and Harrison Ford was a contractor. And he
and he got it so easily. I'm like, wait, this has to go wrong somehow.
And it went more wrong than it ever could have.
And it went wrong so fast. Like the immediate, like just the fast.
No, seriously. And how easy. I thought they were going to do something weird because of how nice they were being. I'm like, there's something weird about them.
Yeah.
He was like,
he was the weird one.
I couldn't watch
he
that.
Fumbled.
And I could not watch Billy at the art thing talking to his friends.
The secondhand embarrassment.
I was like, huh. Yeah. Like, they did a good job with it, especially in the art show one, but I was like, I need to look away.
Making it awkward.
Yeah. Also the hospital episode, and he was like so concerned with Billy's insurance. Just for the reveal that she didn't have insurance at all.
So there was never a problem.
And then it cost so much fucking
to do
money.
all the tests. He's like, hurry, do the test.
And the meat in the middle, like him being like, my guy. The way he was actually very funny in that episode, the way he was talking to the doctors. He like really has me up and down.
He's like, I gotta get this done. Like, you think he's like this. That's the thing about it. He's like this goofy guy that like, it seems like he can't like be in control. Like that's the thing. Like he was like yelling, and then he like didn't want to do anything with the girl at the fundraiser. He's like, oh, I'm just a. But then he's doing this weird shit. I'm like, why do we have to do that? He could just be this weird, goofy, like
just silly and harmless guy.
Yeah, harmless guy. That's a good word. But you have to add these little things where I'm like, can I even root for this man?
No, seriously.
Especially with Billy, which I see so much potential there, but also I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
He's gonna need a weird... He's gonna need
seriously. That's what's getting me is, like, I feel like those, like, two things just didn't need to... Especially that first episode just didn't need to exist.
They really throw you in with that episode.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Episode 3, Friend Sled episode, which was a very big highlight because it ending with them in the car trying to escape, and he's like, well, they're like, you need to talk to him and tell him you can't be your friend, but he physically can't do that, so he decides that running him over would be the easier thing, and him screaming, I need to be everything to everyone, and now I just killed a man.
I need to be everything to everyone.
So, but I think that episode 3 is when I was fully like, this is television.
That's television.
Like, we finally locked in with that. So funny. So funny.
That guy, like, the stabber guy, was smiling. Like,
and
Billy was gonna hook up with him.
No.
And
just for him to stab him. The whole, like, the text conversation thing and how the way he talks to everyone.
Why is it the year of us?
Season of Us.
Or the season of us.
The way he was just, like was dabbing up the fucking cops. Like, him being friends with everyone. Like so
literally
funny.
Everyone. The whole neighborhood. I'm like,
so funny. Gossiping with the moms in the neighborhood. Obsessed.
Slut.
So funny. What else? Next episode was the House Rules meeting. Sorry, go ahead.
When Paul Baker's talking to the guy with the gun, he's like, the Glee.
Oh, yeah. Because
the cast of Glee kind of ended that.
Yeah. But then he's like,
the power of song.
Like, I wouldn't call myself fruity. He's like, well, if you were fruity, then I would take him. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
He's just trying to return this fucking gun.
They literally just do not want that gun.
Bring the gum.
That
whole episode's so good.
It's so good. It's definitely one of my favorites. Episode 4 was House Rules, which that was a fun scene at the beginning of them making their little chart and like their cute
that's a cute thing for them to have.
I watched so Owen Teal, who plays Anton. I watched his pod with the two with them.
I need to watch that.
I watched it while I was doing all the other stuff.
I watched him on Miles.
Oh fuck! I forgot he was on there. I need to do that. And they were trying to talk about their favorite moments from the show. And they're always like, oh, anything with the 5 of us. And then the guy who plays Paul Baker was like, I really like the House Rules scene. And she went, we filmed that the day that Trump got elected. That was your favorite?
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, well, that really bonded us.
That's crazy.
They're like, well, the scene itself was funny, but like outside of it, they were like, we were really bonding. And he was like, and Owen was like, I was crying.
That's tragic.
I was like, that's lore. That's like BTS.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That podcast was so chaotic because they were all just talking over each other. It was so funny.
I have to watch.
Yeah, it was good.
They were all talking over each other.
And just like hearing like what I really took from that is the fact that they're like the 5 of us are just genuinely good friends.
Yeah.
Like no one had anything bad to say about each other, and they were like, but they were also like, Issa, you can't trust her. Or, what's her name in real life? Rita or something. Mm-hmm. Like she's so late to everything, and they're like, but we love her so much.
But we love her so much. I saw them like they said how many unread text messages they had for a TikTok thing.
I know. Now
they had like Owen had 1 billion.
Yeah.
Like
so
like they're just their characters.
I know. Now I'm like really excited I can like absorb content now without feeling like I'm gonna get spoiled.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying it. But I did like that scene as well, and this was the AirTag episode.
With the rat.
So funny, like so obscenely funny that a rat ended up with AirTag.
They're like, because they're like, Issa you have to be able to track Issa.
Yeah.
Like, that was her role, role for her.
So she puts
so they were getting an AirTag.
That Paul Baker spent $100 on.
Yeah, but on a bracelet and just immediately puts it on.
And Anton, the storyline that carries through, and I'm so excited to see more of the backstory for this, is that Anton hasn't been with anyone in months because his last relationship was made him so heartbroken. So I'm like, we need to meet this guy. For the angst, I need to see this man. And it honestly made me so sad when he for a second was about to go meet this person just for it to be a rat.
And it seemed like this perfect person, and then it was going to be a rat, but he didn't even go.
So it was still sad, but I was like, I'm glad that he didn't like get his heart set on something and just to find out it was a little rat.
It's so funny they never figured out it was a rat.
Yeah. I want that to come back up. Yeah. Because they do a good job. A moment for this inside joke that they do, which is like, I don't even know if it's fully an inside joke. It's just like comes across as one because it's like an inside joke we have where I think it's in episode 7 when Annabelle comes, the girl that's pregnant.
Yes.
And then she's explaining it, and she's like, oh, sorry, that's an Anton and Paul Baker storyline.
Yeah.
Like, referring to their lives as a show. It's like, it's meta, and that's what makes it funny. But it's funny, because that's what we do. We love pretending like we're in, like, season 7 of our show, because we've been in Chicago for 7 years.
That's their storyline.
And then they did the same thing when they were going through the mail, and, like, all the mail was connecting back to episodes that had happened.
Yeah.
And when Paul Baker was opening his one piece of mail, they were like, oh, it's time for your callback.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so funny. Like, stuff like that always gets me, because it's so us, but also, like, the fact that they're doing it is so funny. And the fact that they did have callbacks at all, like, just shows, like, even if a show is, like, sporadic and, like, every episode kind of stands on its own, like, I love, like, a thread. Mm-hmm. Something that, and I'll bring this up again just so I can, like, give a little critique, something that longer sitcoms do, like Friends, is they'll fucking forget shit they did.
Yeah,
and then it'll be, like, continuity errors. And I'm like, I like a show that can, even if it's
that
not,
really follows it. I love when they bring back, like...
Yeah. And this
like,
show...
Hacks is pretty good at that.
Yes. And this show was already doing, like, things that kept coming back up. Like, I love a recurring thread, like, mind wipe. Yeah. Like, they have this thing where they can say whatever they want, and then you just have to forget it, so you don't have to, like, dwell on it or, like, be embarrassed about it. Mm-hmm. And the running gag that Issa doesn't watch any movies.
Yeah, that's so
She'll
funny.
She'll reference a movie, and someone will go, oh, I never saw it.
Oh, me either. I saw that in a trailer.
Like, you know what show is good when in season 1 they're already starting to set up, like, running gags.
Yes.
I love bits and running jokes. Like, I love it. And the show's already doing that. Casablanca. In the House Rules episode, Casablanca, this one makes you look like Casablanca. Oh, I never saw that. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
Episode 4, I have to say, was the first episode with Mr. Teacher.
Oh, Mr. Teacher.
Charlie Cox, and I was so scared to watch it. Because obviously, like, I was in my Daredevil era earlier this year. And he is so serious, so American, and so blind on that show. Yeah. And in this, he can see, and he's British, and he's, like, silly. Yeah. So, like, seeing him with the crazy shit he was doing, but it being a little more closer to, like, obviously, he's not, like, an idiot in real life, or, like, weird like he got in the show, but, like, it felt more similar to watching Charlie. I was like, I can't watch Charlie Cox's dick. No, Charlie Cox's dick.
Mr.
Like,
Teacher.
Like, if it was, like, a Matt Murdock situation, I'd be like, that makes tracks, I guess. Them hooking up in the next episode, I was like, that's my friend!
That was crazy.
Then he got super unhinged in the 6th episode, and that was so funny. I was like, what did I say? Daredevil is on ketamine. Let Charlie Cox be funny.
Silly.
Let him do more stuff.
He's being silly.
Cast him.
Yeah, that was crazy when she sucked his dick, but if somebody got my 15K bill down to 2,000.
Yeah. If I could have anything I need to do an adult situation, and just, like, walk me through that and tell me what to do, and, like, have a cute little British accent and a cute little face, and just, like, a calming demeanor tell me to do it, my life would be saved.
But I'm like, that's your teacher.
If you're a teacher and her being like, I used to be the star student.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was a sensible storyline for her, and then when you learn more about the shit he's going through, it kind of was like, okay,
it made more sense.
They're both making a toxic choice. So I was like, he beat the Ezra Fitz allegations.
He did. He
was kind of a dumbass and needs to grow up a little.
Ketamine.
But, like, he at least wasn't just, like, targeting.
And he's like, yeah, we can't do this. Girl.
And at least she was also of age, even if they were younger when they met. But beat the Ezra Fitz allegations.
He beat the.
And at the end, he just wanted to go to Taco Bell.
And he just needed to get his ass to Taco Bell. So
he was so fucking funny. I think we should just, like, wait, though. The whole dinner party episode.
Yeah, that's a good episode.
So episode 5 was when Anton and Issa think they got their therapist to kill himself. So they're just immediately thinking. It's so funny.
Like, both of them thinking, I killed him.
I'm awful enough to
I love them.
They're so funny. They're two dumb bitches talking to each other.
So funny. Exactly.
Them gagging each other in the graveyard by pretending like they were answering each other's questions. And it's like, no matter if that was serious or them just playing a joke, like, I was obsessed.
That was my favorite.
That was so funny. And then them having a seance with fucking the girl dressed as Austin Bowers.
Yes.
Her pretending to be possessed by the spirit of their therapist. The door slamming when Anton and Samir and Paul Baker left, like, and then them just getting scared, and then fully telling the widow of the man, like, all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Then what, they turn to the woman and like, who are you? I'm Kate. And they're like, well, he never mentioned you. And then they're reading the list of stuff. Oh, that was so funny. That was also the art show episode, which was very stressful for me. Watching my girl Billy go through that.
Oh, yeah.
You really matched the pink of my clit. It's crazy work.
They said...
And they're like, oh.
No,
her saying whatever, she's like, oh, you based it off of me. And then they're like, that's weird. And then she doubled down. So funny. But hey, he stuck by her, and we give him one thing for that.
Yeah.
And then him getting home, and then...
adult.
That's the episode, I keep mixing all the guys' names. Paul Baker and Samir now working delivery jobs, start partying with these teenagers.
They bring the teenager beer, and then they're like, oh, we have to see your ID. But then they're playing a video game, so him and Paul Baker are like,
we gotta hang out with the boys. They're like, that's so Dylan of you.
They're like, we can supervise him.
But then the teen girls come over, they're like, nah.
They're like, oh, this got weird.
Get the fuck out of here. Well, he's like, we'll leave the GameCube for now. for now. They all have such great line deliveries. I'm obsessed. But then Billy getting like home with Mr. Teacher, and then the combination of Issa and Anton be like, we didn't kill him. Into Samir and Paul Baker like throwing up.
Yeah, and they drink all this stuff.
That's family.
That warmed my heart.
Oh, for sure.
And Mr. Teacher was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But he still stuck around.
Yeah. Just in time for the big dinner party.
Just in time.
Because that's it. The dinner party is a prime episode where, like, I'm feeling a little bummed out and putting on the dinner party episode.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah.
So
good.
From start to finish, like, because
it was everything.
Billy's like, everything has to be like so perfect. Like, we're adults, we can make it. We can roast a chicken.
Yes. And she's wearing a cute little Highland cow shirt.
Yeah.
And then my man, Paul Baker, throws up.
Yeah.
From the weird milk.
Ew.
So funny. From start to finish, they were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Because they had guest stars. They had a chicken that was raw. They had Charlie Cox on ketamine.
Yeah.
They had Anton making drinks and then spilling it all. That is one of my favorite gags of all the liquid going out. And then when he goes to pour it, nothing comes
He's like,
out.
it's just spilling a little. And then he ends up, it's like nothing.
To share. He's not even questioning.
He's the worst bartender ever.
Also had such a good gag with like the fire alarm going off, which is so funny because that keeps fucking happening to us too. And then her being like, waft, and no one seems to know what the fuck that means.
They're doing anything but wafting.
If you're gonna be like, I need someone to watch the show, but you need to convince them, I feel like this is an episode.
Yeah.
I feel like this and the AirTag episode, fire.
Or
the stabber. Oh my god. Honestly, 3 through 8,
they're all good. Like just thinking about them, like it was a full, like from start to end, and how they end it.
So good.
Like they're all so good.
She also said Phantom Thread, never seen it, me neither. My man on a very large introductory dose of ketamine. Him doing a little somersault on the bed sent me. Him crying in the bathroom. Well, this was after they cut into the roast chicken she had worked on all day.
Ugh.
And Julia Fox is there. Because she find out, of course Paul Baker knows Julia Fox.
Jules is coming.
And it's Julia Fox. Obsessed with the ending being like, well, I also know a girl, Scarlett, at the gym. It's fucking Scarlett Johansson. And I love that happened right us in our Scarlett Johansson era.
Scarlett.
Obsessed.
Issa being like bummed that it was Julia Fox because Issa's the one who has the good stories and stuff, but then Julia Fox is telling her stories. She's like, of course.
The one person that could one up her.
She was supposed to meet her somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, they were supposed to be friends.
And this is how
she's like, I'll follow you back on Instagram. Never mind.
And he's like, I gotta go.
In the podcast, they were saying that Julia Fox was just improving. They were like, there's words on the page. She's like, I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that.
They're like, she should. She's Julia Fox playing Julia Fox. Julia Fox and Charlie Cox. They said the same. They did the same thing in their podcast, rhyming their names. But then they cut into the raw chicken. Billy did not know you needed to thaw that shit. And Charlie Fox is so fucking high off his ass, he eats it.
Ugh.
And then passes it, gets
it's
so
like
fucking
bloody.
angry. And then in the bathroom, he goes, I'm the Chandler of the group.
I'm the Chandler of the group.
So funny. I was having a breakdown. And it was funny. But that was a big episode for if you're in on it, the Samir and Billy agenda, because he was just so badly trying to look out for her.
Yeah.
And that was very sweet. And that was one of the crumbs I would have taken.
I was like, oh.
And we'll see if that goes anywhere else.
We'll see. in his 3-piece suit.
Paul Baker knowing Julia Fox, and I forget who said this, but she knows Sandler. Like, the thing that they cared about the most was that she knew Adam Sandler. And then Anton talking to her, he's like, oh, she was like, you should come to SNL. And he's like, oh, me and Bowen doing bits. He's like, I met Emma Stone last week. I loved Easy A. So fucking true.
I loved Easy A.
So funny. And then Charlie Cox going, I read half your book. Fuck yeah, you did.
I read half your
Gold mine. So good. 7 was Annabelle.
Oh, that bitch.
Spoiler alert, was like, who do I put as my least favorite character? Her, because she's talking bad about my men. Anton and Paul Baker.
She was roasting them the whole time.
But she did provide some of the funniest content.
But it was funny, yeah.
Because watching their two dynamic deal with her was hilarious. Like, they were literally her abortion dads.
Yeah.
Like, the yelling about Sarah Jessica Parker.
Like, I want to have my abortion at Sarah Jessica
Parker. We all wish you were having your abortion at Sarah Jessica Parker.
They're just beefing. They're having that one nice, they're having, like, finally a nice moment smoking weed.
And she's like, you know what? If I had your guys' life, I'd abort myself. And Paul Baker's the nicest person in the world. She's just a little sweet.
Oh, fuck you.
And then Anton's like, now you have to deal with it. So fucking funny. That was the episode where Issa is trying to do her popcorn musical.
Yes.
And that was another funny thing, was them doing the little musical at the end.
Yes.
And then
that was cute.
What was Samir doing? Was that when he was on his date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said ew. Yeah.
Yeah.
The poop.
But also, I'm glad
it was nice they had that moment.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
But I was gonna barf when he was using fork and knife on his poop. So
real though, because that's my nightmare. That's to be in that situation. Yeah, that was. Oh my god, the Anton and Paul Baker and the baby.
Annabelle being like, "Can I see where 9/11 was?"
They're like, that was like. Everything that happened in the 3 of their scenes, like, I could sit here and say lines all day.
Yes.
Like, I literally can't say anything more than that. It was all fucking so funny.
Good.
So good.
Wait, someone said an episode about gay parenting.
No, seriously, we got a little
that
snapshot.
Was them.
I also thought just, like, the like, what's it called? Walk-in? Whatever they were doing. They were protesting at the popcorn.
They locked the kids in.
So funny.
And, like, their homework being, like, to go watch what movie was it?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know what movie it was, but it was homework to watch
Erin
a movie.
Brockovich, and then she was like, and tell me
if it's good.
Yeah.
Because that's so Issa.
Doesn't watch anything. I also like Billy in that storyline where someone's like, you remind me of my mom. And it's like, is she happy? Like, her life is making me so sad. And, like, her negotiating was funny when, like, she will not settle for anything less than this was funny. But then her just joining the protest anyway because no one takes them seriously.
Yeah.
Love that. And then at the end, they do their little performance. And then Annabelle goes, yeah, that fucking
sucked.
We're open to notes.
Aww. Their family.
Yep. And then it all led to them finally checking the mail in the last episode. And what happens? Paul Baker's about to get deported!
Bro, this Canadian.
My man. And that was the power of found family because, long story short, Issa was going to do it, but then she had just gotten divorced from Zach Carlos.
Yeah, she had.
But then she also freaked out that she couldn't do it. And what does everyone else do?
Offers.
They all stand up and offer.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking friendship.
That's
Samir's like, I can figure it out. I'm with it. I can figure it out.
You're not gay, Samir. Like, I can see it.
Love it.
I'll figure it out.
Love them down.
But the reveal of it, of who it was.
Yeah, when Billy was walking down with her fucking UTI.
Yeah.
Because she was just with Darcy Carden and I can't think of his real name. I know that guy too. And he just... that killed me when Darcy Carden left because she was about to hook up with this couple that was open. And then he just reveals...
He's like, I don't want to be open. Yeah.
And I was like, this happened to my buddy. Tell mom's cancer. I don't want to We got married, then she wanted to be open. And now I just have to pretend like I want to hook up with every sexy person in town. That was so funny, and I love seeing Darcy Carden in anything.
Yes.
But my girl had a UTI almost on her wedding day.
She almost on her wedding
day. But then, yeah, the reveal that, like...
who did it?
He did actually pick. And he... Because there was, like, subtle little builds of just... Their relationship dynamic in general, just even as friendship, like, building throughout the season. And then they had a little moment in the episode before... And then the glow stick thing. So he's like, I always picture
and
my
he
wedding
brought the
being
glow stick!
meaningful and have glow sticks, of course. And he brought a glow
Aww,
stick.
that's
and they're like, well,
darling.
you guys have to kiss. Them's the
You guys
rules.
have to kiss. Like, go sit next to the person and then he passes everybody and then sits next to. I love how they did that.
Yeah.
And they're like, kiss.
And then they get to kiss, and they're like, that's not enough.
That's not enough. And
But then they made them kiss more just for all of them to get really weird about it. Like, you guys wanted that.
They could see the. They
just saw Endgame.
They immediately. Even Issa was like, Endgame.
Oh, fuck, they're Endgame. And then what about me?
He said, what about me?
If you guys are together and you guys are together, who's flying the plane? So
I saw so it's like April. This is
my boyfriend's boyfriend. Yeah,
season 2.
We haven't ruled out throuple.
Yeah.
You never know. Oh my god,
That's so funny.
I had a blast.
I love them. Wish it was longer.
When they had the Zach Carlos storyline was also sending me Anton and Samir having to deal with him. And then them lying about it at like the bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And be like, what were you guys doing? Making soup. And Paul Baker's like, you made soup without me? And they're like, what soup?
Oh, both at the same time.
Like, so
Minestrone.
funny. Like, this show, all I can say is they nailed like some of my favorite types of humor, like callbacks, just like, I don't know. I don't even describe some of it. Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
What else can I
It's
say?
so funny.
They did such a good job of being
so
funny.
quick.
And I think it helped, like, you can feel that they all have such a good dynamic. Because that's what makes shows good is, like, the chemistry between all of them. And that they could go back and forth off of each other. And, like, the line delivery, like, true comedians and comedic actors can nail the delivery. And they all nail the delivery so well. It's so satisfying. Zach Carlos winking with his finger. That's the last thing I had written.
That's your best man.
And just shout out Paul Baker, firsty lasty. I love saying his full name.
Paul Baker.
Paul Baker.
He got to stay.
Yep.
Slay.
What a show. I hope it gets renewed.
Me too.
It deserves to, and ideally with more episodes, but I guess I'm not in charge. Only idiots.
I don't know. It's only
Surrounded by
only
idiots.
gonna be 8 again.
Real quick, highs and lows.
Yes.
Who are your favorite epic
Highs and lows.
favorite characters?
Issa and Anton.
Yeah, I ranked them.
Oh.
Because I was like, well,
I
they're
should
all
do
my
that.
favorites.
Yeah. So there's only 5 of them.
Power rankings, that's the thing. Like, a lot of them I feel like teeter pretty close.
Yeah.
But I went with my gut and I said Anton, Paul Baker, Issa, Billy, Samir.
So true. That's real.
I feel like in the middle, the 3 of them shuffle. I think Anton might actually is, I feel like, my favorite.
Anton's so funny.
He's just so funny.
Yeah.
And if Samir can get it together a little bit more.
Samir is my least favorite. So.
And I said that with enjoying him 80% of the time.
Yeah, like, I'm glad he's adding to the dynamic, but also I'm like, you're kind of a freak.
Every time he hallucinates, like, a sign saying he's an idiot, that's real. We give him that. Least favorite?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I just said Annabelle being mean to my dad.
Yeah, Samir. Sorry.
Yeah, Samir.
If I had a least... Okay,
episode 1, Samir, 100%.
Least favorite out of these 5 people.
Yeah.
Samir.
That's what I did in my ranking.
So, that's
Grow
my
up.
T. Grow up.
Look at him, he seems like such a nice man.
Yeah, maybe. He's such a nice young gentleman.
Favorite episodes or moments? I mean, we basically listed
I know, it's just like everything.
Yeah, I put like episodes. I
what
said
did I
the
put?
dinner party, the last episode, and then house rules, because I think that was the... Honestly, though, I actually am aligned to the stabber.
Yeah, I like the stabber.
Yeah.
The hospital scene or episode. I said I just like the chaos and the pacing. And found family.
Yeah, amen.
And
Have always said
slay the house down boot.
A least favorite?
Samir being a freak.
Yeah, I basically wrote episode 1, question mark.
The secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, that's what I said, the mooning, and then her at the art show.
Yeah.
Samir being a freak! On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most unserious a show can be, what'd you rate it?
Pretty high.
Yeah, I put a 9.
Yeah, okay.
Locked
9. That sounds about right.
And then would you recommend it?
Yes.
Yes. I would say if you watch episode 1, you're like, I don't know if this is for me, push forward.
Push forward and through.
And then if you get to like episode 3 and you still are not vibing with it, then maybe it isn't for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Humor is
I guess I
subjective.
can see how it wouldn't be for everybody.
Yeah.
But
I think comedies are the hardest because everyone has a different sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's, like, definitely for our age group.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't show my mom this.
No way.
She'd be like, the hell?
No.
But, Slay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's time for game time with Megan and Bree. We have a little hat that has, I think, all the shows we've watched.
Oh, no.
Look out for episode 99. And we're going to do just a quick fire mind meld where we're going to pick one of the shows and try to come up with, like, a hot take or, like, something controversial.
Yeah.
To say about it. And then we're going to mind meld. We're not going to judge each other for those opinions.
Okay.
And neither are you, because you're going to mind meld. Mind wipe. Sorry.
Mind wipe.
Excuse me. Mind wipe.
Mind wipe. Okay.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay.
I'm scared.
There's, like, a couple things, like, I feel like...
Oh, my God.
I prepared these little things for next week's episode. So I might have to pick again, depending on what it is. If it's Taylor Swift.
It's Taylor Swift. Mind meld.
Ooh, Yellow Jackets.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I don't know if I have anything specific. I do. Okay, mind wipe. I do think I struggle with the writing choices.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're gonna need to step it a little bit up to land the plane.
Truly land, but they didn't land the plane.
To land the plane, pun intended.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Mind wipe. That's what I can make here all day unpacking that.
The Last of Us.
Ooh.
Okay, what's controversial? Well, it's not. That's not controversial.
You're like, Joel should have died.
Joel actually should have died. Joel should have died.
I'm happy he died, actually.
I'm actually really glad.
I wish he died more.
I wish he died earlier.
Fuck Pedro.
Oh my God.
Piss off the fanboys.
Okay. Piss them off?
Yeah. Hot take.
Hot take for all the incels out there. What do I say?
I don't know. What? I won't even judge.
I won't even judge. I feel like everything that is well, maybe it's a hot take to incels.
Yeah.
Well, the hot take is that for these incels is that Bella Ramsey slays.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just seems like not controversial to me.
Yeah.
But I know that is a very controversial thing. Mm-hmm. And also, I like Abby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, mine now.
We're on Team Abby.
And I'm Team Abby.
Okay. I'm nervous. Ooh, the Buccaneers.
Oh, shoot. That's Beck.
I think if they wanted to do something, I said this to you the other day, I think if they wanted to be really crazy, I think that Ginny and Guy should kiss.
Okay. If they want to be really crazy.
Does that mean I'm getting better?
That would be crazy.
I think they should kiss. Well, who else are they going to kiss?
How else when they kiss? They only have each other. Mm-hmm. A little kiss.
Wait, everyone got excited about that one.
Oh no, I got this, the pit.
Ooh. Do you have any?
Controversial? I don't know.
Is there something you're afraid to admit?
About the pit?
You're like, Dr. Robbie sucks.
I'm like, Dr. Robbie actually sucks.
How'd you pick that one again?
I don't know.
You can pick another.
Okay.
We were practicing.
Dr. Robbie sucks. Ginny and Georgia!
Oh! Fresh!
Max has never done anything wrong in her life.
I mean. No, truly. Sex Lives of College Girls.
Oh. This just took my sex life. The show ain't fucking.
I feel like everything I'm frustrated about that show I've said. Like, part of me feels like I should pick another because I said it in this podcast. I'm like, it didn't do a good job with the pacing.
Yeah.
And, like, it had so much comedy potential and friendship potential, and it just didn't execute as well. Running Point.
Oh, shit. Running Point.
I don't know if I have anything. I'm gonna pick another.
Okay.
Just because this is my last one. I feel like I feel like I really crushed the
bucket. It's gotta be good.
I'm, like, trying to come up with something. These aren't... I don't have hot takes. I need like... Abbott Elementary. Oh, okay. I was actually thinking about this when we were talking about when...
I don't like what they're doing with
Gregory's. Sorry, Quinta. I was alluding to this in this episode, and I almost said something about Abbott, actually, and didn't. Mm-hmm. Is when you have a relationship that's a slow burn, like Gregory and Janine. Sometimes when the other characters are pushing for it too much, it takes away a little bit of the buzz because it feels less like it's slowly burning when every character is like, you should be together.
You should just be together.
And I think they pushed that a little bit too much where I was like, okay, stop talking about it because I want them to slowly find out that they like each other. Yeah. Not everyone else find out and tell each other.
Tell them.
And they're all talking about it. Like that. I like that kind of tropey stuff to a degree. But I was starting to get a little bit like, okay, stop talking about it and let them let's forget about it so that when they come back together, it's more like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah. Mine
white.
Mine white. Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Traitors.
You're like
Boston Rob should have.
Speak on it. I don't like what they're doing with Boston Rob's
character. I don't like what they were doing with Boston Rob's character. No, I'm doing another one.
Yeah, that one's harder. Reality.
That's reality. Adults.
Wait, that's actually so funny. It just should be longer.
It should be longer. That's yeah.
And we've already said the first episode we'd probably
Okay, I'm doing another one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's so funny that I got an adult.
That is funny.
Emily Henry books.
Oh, okay.
Controversial. Happy Place is the best.
And you said what you said, and that's okay.
Okay.
All right,
slay.
Hell that's yeah. Funny. That was honestly
kind of fun.
I'm like, let's keep going.
Let's spill the tea. I'm like, I don't even know any tea. The last one, Joel should have died earlier.
It's crazy. Mine went.
I don't think
that's it. That's adults. Hopefully we have more to talk about soon. Hopefully it comes back in a timely fashion. It comes back at all. And it should be longer. Come on. Who do I gotta fucking talk to?
Pleek.
Yeah, the Glee cast kind of ended that through the power of song.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's so funny.
We love a Glee. Anytime there's a Glee reference.
Glee.
Amen.
Glee.
Well, thank you guys for watching episode 98 of UNSERIESOUS. Next week, you will see this hat.
Dun dun.
We're going to play a game with everything we've ever talked about on the show to prepare for our big 100, which will probably be the bear.
The bear
is back.
Chicago.
And I'm back in Chicago. I feel it. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and until next time.
This is the season of us.
From everything to everyone, and now I just killed him.
I just killed.
My wife.